Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different, and if you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do if it doesn't resonate with you. If you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So, channel members, you had a video posted yesterday, so if you haven't checked that out, definitely check that out. And if you're interested in a shamanic journey to meet your spirit guides, definitely check out the link for the other channel down below that was posted yesterday. So let's go ahead and let's begin. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. Oof. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more information on this before I say too much. Let's see. Okay. Okay. All right. So for whoever this message is for this collective, one thing I want you to remember is that it happens in steps, right? Sometimes we take a couple of steps forward. Sometimes there's a little step back. Sometimes there's a big step back, but we always go forward, right? It may not seem that way in this year, or it might not seem that way for 5 years, or it might not seem that way this week, but we're always moving forward. There is something here that we may be returning to at this time. Whatever it is that we're returning to here, it's very close to our heart. The interesting thing is that you actually have the power to affect it, right? We're very telepathic beings. I want to say this because of this. We have the poet. The poet's looking in the crystal ball, what will happen, what will happen? And meanwhile, all those worries are leaving their head in the form of these little crows, right? Very telepathic energy. That telepathic energy and your worries and your anxieties are already telling you what's going to happen, right? This is a message about somebody leaving that behind. Learning to transform those thoughts, learning to transform their need to keep themselves safe by having the swords within their mind, right? The sword suit, the tarot. And that it's okay to have the 10 of Swords put behind you, right? It's okay to open yourself up into a greater level of trust, a greater level of ease. Because what's going to happen is that telepathically, that's going to be seated inside of your reality, and you will align. We have Pillar of Light, Kasha, and Align Your Life. So someone already knows this. This is something that you've been doing. But for whatever reason today, maybe this week, maybe this month, there's a return to old habits of worrying, of stressing out, particularly inside the heart space, right? Things that we care about, things that we really love. You are constantly vibrating the energy that will be returned to you. If you want an example of that, think about the people in your life and think about the energy that you were in when those people came to you. Now think about how those people make you feel. Right? Many times we attract people who confirm the stories that we have when we first met them, right? So greatest example that I could possibly give is for people who are serial monogamists, right? You leave behind one relationship, maybe you felt upset or mad or angry, and then you attract someone who's always angry at you. Or you feel like you weren't good enough or in some way, or you felt betrayed in some way, and then you attract someone who continues to make you feel that way. Or you feel rejected, or you feel neglected, you attract somebody who continues to make you feel that way. If you're sitting around pining for somebody to contact you again, you wind up attracting someone who's avoidant, right? This is and there's exceptions to that. Obviously, there's exceptions to everything. But this is generally how it works. And someone here, you're on a path to clearing out your stories, on clearing out your karmas, and leaving certain things behind. That's why this Akashic card is coming out. But we may have taken a step back, just for the day, or just for the week, or maybe just for the year. And the reminder is coming through here to align ourselves, to align our life, to put those pieces back together. I do want to say for some of you, this card is coming out not because you need to realign, but because you're understanding that there may be a fractured sense of self that's at play. And so giving yourself more self-love, right? Viewing yourself in a higher light, viewing yourself in a better way is going to clear up this kind of energy. And this becomes the energy that you start to put out, where people who value you more are attracted to you. Okay. There may be a revelation in terms of these thoughts or these sorts of behaviors. And then we have first breath, beginner's mind. And that's really what it requires. It requires us to release the identity, right? This happened to me and it gave me this issue. This happened to me and it did this. Someone here, you're ready to just put those down. Obviously, you know, not everybody is. Sometimes we have things we genuinely have to work through, right? And for somebody here, you've gotten to a place where you've worked through it so much, and now it's just the understanding that you can put it down, that we're seeming to come up against here. Okay, why is this heart card center, please? Let's see. The mentor. We may be having someone here that's almost like guiding us in this. For some of you, this is going to be someone in spirit. It's going to be, you know, whether it's ancestor, or it might be a spirit guide, or it might be a deity, or it might be our higher self, right? There's some sort of wisdom that's being brought in here. I do want to say that there's something stellar about whoever this mentor is, something very star-like about this mentor. And for some of you, this might be an actual person in your life that you kind of feel like, yeah, I might remember you from someplace else, right? Again, there's a connection to the stars for whoever this is. Maybe you have an astrologer friend who, you know, is the one kind of mentoring you through these things. This is a healing of the heart. This is like the realigning of the heart space. So much of our healing journey is about the heart, right? It's about healing out those hurts and those traumas and those wounds. But the more you dig into it, the heart space is super vast. It's just like this. It's just like that mermaid's tail. It's the ocean. And many times we just work on the tip of it, right? We just see that tip. But then when we can see the full form of the actual depth of that heart space, there's a lot to it. It doesn't just touch our experiences in this life. It touches our experiences as a consciousness. And sometimes it touches the experiences of others. So someone here, you're navigating this terrain, you're navigating this heart space, and part of the navigation of the heart space is allowing and giving the heart space permission to release its own identity, right? Releasing its old stories. We have the solar light upgrade underneath that. Because we release these stories, our identity starts to change. And as our identity starts to change, our personal power starts to grow. As our personal power starts to grow, the things that we think that we're seeding the universe with start to change, and what's reflected back also changes. This is the revelation someone has had. There's just a little bit of a struggle right now with that. We might be feeling like a floppy fish, right? And that's okay, right? A little bit of wobble here and there is part of it. This is why this reading started off by saying everything is taken in steps. It's not that it's a clear shot, you have this revelation, and now all of a sudden everything is different. And sometimes it is, and if that's you, that's great. But what seems to be happening here is we have these little revelations along the way, and we wait for them to integrate. And sometimes we fall back just a little bit before they get to integrate, or we have to have that revelation again. This is normal. So whoever's message of this is, don't beat yourself up if you find that that's you, right? You're going to have days where you remember that revelation and you're in that reality, and then days where you're in the old version of self. Just know that this process is happening. We are releasing. We are moving on. Ooh, where do I want to go? Where am I supposed to go here? Interesting. I'm not usually guided to this deck for this collective. So let's see. Okay. We have request. Again, there seems to be a little bit of a suggestion or a request here. We have a request for freedom, right? Allowing ourselves to jettison those sandbags, to jettison those weights. There may be this sense of having been cracked open in some way emotionally recently, with the imagery from that freedom card. And there is something here. I know those are supposed to be measurements. I think that's what they're supposed to be. They make me think of degrees. So there may have been a degree of, and then fill in the blank, right? Maybe not the full-blown thing, but a degree of. So the degree of a separation, but not really a full-blown separation, or the degree of a, I don't know, fill that in, right? But it was enough to cause us to crack open in some way and to really assess the emotional states that are taking place. This seems to be part of what's actually helping guide us and teach us at this moment, though what I said still kind of stands. I do feel that there is another mentor someplace. Here with the freedom, this is really allowing ourselves to be liberated, right? To understand that we can be, rather than having the belief that we can't be deep down inside. Something about frequencies is coming through as well. I don't know in what way or how that pertains, but I'm just going to say it because it is coming through. For some of you, there's something important about children as well. Okay. Right now, one of the ways that we seem to be integrating this information is through our immersion of our synchronicities, right? The pattern. This may go back to the readings that have been happening the last 2 days in terms of the reflection, but there definitely seems to be this revolution of a pattern that our emotions are what's being reflected back to us. Notice how that moon is circling the earth. You are the earth, and the moon is really the moon's reflecting the sun, but you know, we're looking at this card here. This moon is, our emotions are circling around the earth. It's not that the earth contains the moon, right? So our emotions, we feel them inside of our bodies, but what's really happening is they're out here. They're out here. So I'm not even going to try to explain that. I feel like if this is your reading, you're going to understand what I mean by that. Let's see. That's another thing too, for this collective. As I'm doing this reading, I'm noticing that my energy level is going down, and that's why I don't feel like going into it for what I just said. You may have this feeling of detachment, right? And that's not a bad thing. I actually think that that's important to the lesson of whatever's happening here. But it's a feeling of, because I'm detached, I just don't care. I just can't care. And we may have slipped back into this caring, right? Where we're caring and we're worrying about things, and, you know, we're like getting tossed around in the emotion ocean, and rather than being in our own boat and being the one that steers the ship. So that may be what this is about for many of you. And that's okay, right? We'll go through phases like that. That's all the process of enlightenment, right? Enlightenment. What is enlightenment? Enlightenment is when you see reality for what it is, and you see exactly what's going on. And, you know, but it happens in stages, and it's not a perfect thing that happens. There's stages of it. There's layers of it. And someone here, you have a layer of it, and we're falling back into the previous layer. That's okay. That's what happens. That's what we do, right? It's kind of like weight loss. You ever try to lose weight? You ever think that you're supposed to go from here and just straight down? It does this, right? It does this. Or even if you're trying to put on weight, or like you're trying to gain muscle, it's the same thing, right? So whoever's message this is, be patient with yourself, be gentle with yourself. You're on your way. You're on the right path. You're just having a little bit of a hiccup back into the old version, and that's part of the burping stages of integration, right? Those little energies and those remainders have to release. They have to vent. So this is what you can expect. Everything is going according to plan. Okay, if you need to hear that, everything is going according to plan. This is exactly as it should be. So don't stress out. Don't worry about it. You know, don't beat up on yourself. Allow yourself to continue this work of aligning yourself to your true self, and everything will fall into place. So this is a little bit shorter, but whoever's message this is, if this resonates with you, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment, and until next time.